thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the NGLA podcast. Man, I'm looking a little tired, man, because, I worked some overtime yesterday, and I had to get some sleep, but I guess I can get as much as I want, man. But look, before we start, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know that it's truly appreciated every time you do hit that button. Also, hit that notification button, so every time I drop a video, you get notified. So, man, today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about black fatigue, and is black fatigue a real thing? And also we're going to talk about, real quick, we're going to talk about Jasmin Crockett. We ain't going to be too long on her. I just really want to show people, like how she's fake. I've been saying she was fake. A lot of people have been saying she was fake. And how this whole ghetto persona and how it's just an act. And that, truly she does the things and says the things she does because she thinks that's what her constituents want. But really, all it really does is make black people even more mad that she represents black people and represents us in her district, but period. She be all over these news stations and whatnot. And it's just really embarrassing because this is what these people think that we want to see and we want to hear, and we think that they think that we think this is the best representation for us. You see them getting out there cursing a lot now. You never really hear politicians cursing and if you was a politician, you looked at politicians as people that were educated, that were, that spoke a certain way, who dressed a certain way, who did things a certain way. So now when you see these so-called black representatives who are representing the so-called black community, and they getting out here and they she got the big eyelashes, the just the whole ghetto persona, and people that actually come from the ghettos, such as myself, look at that and be like, it's not organic. You know what I mean? Especially when you can easily look into her background and understand that she came up in a great family with two parents who gave her everything that a daughter could want. And, she has no reason to be acting like this, and she could represent black people so much better, but she chooses not to. And then also we're going to talk about this whole, it's been real big. I guess it's just something to talk about. But I wanted to play Donald Trump's reaction to this whole Epstein Pam Bondi thing, and how everybody's going crazy on Pam Bondi because they said that she said that she had the Epstein files on her desk. She had the list on her desk, and now all of a sudden she's trying to backtrack and this, that, and the third. But she clearly they clearly have a Fox interview where she went on there and made a statement, and when they show it, it kind of backs up what she says. Saying, I think I got the clip. If I don't, we'll find it, and you'll pretty much get the gist of, how Donald Trump feels about that whole thing, and then we're gonna go. Lastly, we're gonna go into Officer Tatum's world and react kind of with him with what's going on with this whole Texas flood thing, and give some insight on why, what the reaction is to some people, man. People have some crazy reactions to this whole thing, and it's wild, man. But I got a few shorts that I wanted to shoot few shorts and short videos that I wanted to show, and just showing why people feel black fatigue, why people feel, like, come on, this shit is getting out of control, man. Like, everywhere you go, anything that any altercation that happens, uh, you know, unfortunately, man, black people are going to use the race card. They're gonna bring up racism in one way, shape, or form, and every single thing that happens now. And mind you, I'm a person who has altered my opinions on a lot of things in these past 5 years, just because I just wanted to get out of the victim mentality. And I feel like that's really what's hurting us, hurting us really bad in the black community, is that we have a victim mentality. We blame everybody but ourselves, and we do not take accountability for the things that we do as a whole. I'm not saying every single person in the black community. There's a lot of smart, intelligent people who, are starting businesses, doing big things that come from the black community. This is not specifically talking about every single person that is black on the planet. This is a specific demographic of people who we cannot deny be doing too much, bro. Just be doing too much. And I've seen it. And even though I come from Camden, New Jersey, and even outside of Camden, I lived in neighborhoods that were predominantly black areas. And this is just how we come up. We normalized it to the point when we, when you see these things just regular, bro. And it's sad because it should not be regular. So let's get into a couple of these videos, and then we're gonna react to it.
I don't care. You can call me what the fuck you want to. I don't give up, but don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Yo, off rip. Yo, look at the white lady right here, bro. Off rip. She just like, oh my gosh, here they go again. Hey, yo, off rip, it looks so uncomfortable, bro. She like, man, I just want to get my chicken and waffles, bro. Please let me get it. I've been thinking about this shit all day.
What? You got some shit else to say? Okay, I don't care. Okay, Ian.
And she is why people do not like taking care of black people in restaurants. Now, granted, this is a Waffle House, so one is to expect this happens often because it's a Waffle House. But as a person that's been in the industry for 15 years, I ain't gonna lie, there are times where I look at some black people and I'm like, I definitely do not want to take care of you. You're gonna cause me way more problems, ask for way too much stuff, and not tip. Now, the thing about it is that in the industry, we all know who to watch out for. It's a hidden thing. You don't say it out loud, but we all know from working in the industry who to watch out for and who to not focus too much attention on. I'm just saying.
Y'all scary as and I don't give a.
Oh shoot! How the heck? Oh, all right, my bad, people. My bad. Well, why did it skip? Why did it go all the way down there though? That was weird. Let's do this. I don't even know why this even. Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. Am I? Hold on. What the heck? Hold on. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. That's my fault. That's my fault. This is okay. I didn't even see this. This is why honestly I gotta I gotta start watching these joints in entirety, man. I watch a little bit of it because I just want to react to it kind of raw. You know what I mean? I don't want to pause. I wanted to react to it when you see him. I'm looking at you.
Them little girls, them people
But I think this is a part of a short clip.
died because of racism, not politics. Boom, I said it. I don't give a fuck.
Can you believe this?
And I said no.
Hold on.
No. Because more YT, people will have to DIE in order for the what? CARE.
Hold on.
Why is it all black people?
Yeah. I don't know. Somehow, okay, whatever. Let's move on from that because that is a video I am going to play, but I did not want. I don't know what just happened, but it literally just skipped. I think I know what happened, but anyway, that was a short video on on that on that Waffle House scene. And I wanted to start off with that just because these are the types of things that be going on. You know, you heard the big thing on the Carnival Cruise situation where they saying that the Carnival Cruise is being racist, they don't want to play rap music, and you know, all of these different things that people have been saying and trying to make Carnival Cruise seem like they are racist and that they're trying to diminish black people when really it's just, yo, this is an expensive ass ship that, you know, I invested a lot of money in that, you know, that we want families and all demographics of people to come on to, and we don't want them to feel uncomfortable, afraid, like have, you know, make it feel like it's not a good environment for their kids to be in because, you know, you want to be ghetto, y'all want to fight. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was at a young, I would say around 20, I would say around 21, 22, bro. I stopped going to like black events, bro. Real shit. I grew up, that's all I did. It's where I come from. We go to black parties. You know, it's regular. But, you know, I'm like, yo, I should not have to go to parties with knives in my boot, weapons outside, all these different things just to go to a party, bro. We're supposed to go and have fun and shit like that. But, you know, a lot of people will come to these parties and it would be just be, you know, them coming there. They want to fight. They want to, you know, cause a bunch of bullshit. And unfortunately, that just became corny to me. And I just started, I won't go to a bar if it's dominantly black people. I would rather go to the white bars. I'm just saying. People can say what they want, bro. It's just certain things that people cannot deny if you experience. I was a person that was fortunate enough to grow up in the city, grow up in the hood, but also grow up in areas that was kind of mixed race. And I was able to party with the white people and have fun. I never been to a white party and not have fun, bro. Real shit. And I'm not saying that black people aren't fun. I'm just saying that every time that I've been to, you know, black events, I'm gonna give you an example. And a ex of mine, we was you know, my oldest son's mother, way back in the day. At this time, I grew up a little fast. So I was going to the clubs, I was doing certain things, and at a young age, I'm talking about 16, 17 years old. So by the time I became 22, 23, I wasn't really beat, especially to go to certain clubs. I wasn't really I'm not a dancer. So I wasn't trying to really go to clubs where, you know, it was a lot of dancing and stuff like that. And then I really wasn't beat to be going to, you know, black clubs and shit like that. So she all on, oh, come on, let's go. Come on, you won't ever be doing that. You so corny. Da, da, da. Eventually, I was just like, you know what? All right, come on. I'm telling you though, it's not a good thing. You know, I didn't really want to go, to be honest. Wasn't even in there for 2 seconds. I'm talking about, yo, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. By the time I ain't even reached the bathroom yet, who the fuck you talking to? Like, a girl came up to me, tried to holler at me. I quickly brushed it off. Yo, I'm here with my baby mom at the time. I'm not with her no more. I'm just bringing this up just to give you a point. I'm happily engaged, and I'm not bringing her up for no other point than to just show you how shit could be going in these black environments, bro. And not even in there 1 minute, not even exaggerating, was in there 1 minute. A girl came up to me, tried to dance with me and all that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Here with my baby mom. my son's mother, and she dipped, whatever. She comes up acting all ghetto, ratchet, right? And who the fuck is that? Yo, chill. I told her I was here, whatever. She trying to get all aggressive and shit. I had to literally get physical with her, like not like put my hands on her, but literally grab her up like, yo, you need to fucking chill. We in this club. You need to cool the fuck out. So then she like, oh, some niggas tried to dance with me, and then she said they pushed her or something. I'm like, man, listen, we in the middle of Philly. We in Philadelphia, mind you. I'm by myself. You might as well say. I'm with her friend, so I'm with two women by myself in Philadelphia in a club full of niggas. And she wants me to confront a group of niggas in Philadelphia where I'm not from, where, you know, people are going to be in groups together from out here. I said, man, listen, yo, it's time to go. Like, you know what I mean? We wasn't even in there 5 minutes. Wasted a couple of hours to get in there just to bounce. And it was literally, wasn't even in there a minute. And it was it's just drama. When we walked outside of the club, literally, no exaggeration, it was a motherfucker out there getting jumped by like 5 dudes. I'm like, yo, bro. I'm like, and I told her, I said, yo, this is why I didn't want to come here, because unfortunately, bro, it be a lot of this type of shit going on, and it's weird, bro. So anyway, man, that's just kind of, you know, the Waffle House situation, and the situation that I explained is kind of the reason why people like me, who kind of just tired of this shit, who have black fatigue, is like tired of niggas, just be like, yo, this shit be in the way, bro. It just be too much. Motherfuckers be too loud, too ignorant, uneducated, and just be doing the most, bro. Don't nobody got time for that. And then, to be honest, all people do is make white people feel uncomfortable for being white. Like, yo, I can't control that I'm white. I mean, you know, like, I'm white. What the fuck you want me to do? I'm supposed to feel bad because some of my so-called ancestors did some bullshit to your people, and you don't even know if it's directly your people? Because some people be, you know, not everybody came from slavery, bro. Just because you're black doesn't mean you came from slaves. You might have came from free people, you know. Who knows? But just still, bro, it's just 2025, bro. Get the fuck over it. But this guy right here, his name is Aaron McGruder. I hope I'm saying it right. But in 2000, this is a joint from 2003. Now, mind you, it's 2025. This is 22 years later. And we're still having these same issues that he's going to present to you. And he's going to he's just going to put this in perfect terms for people to make them understand what people are kind of dealing with. And this video is, I think it's a short video, but if it goes on to another video, that's because I play, whatever. Come on, let's get into this.
Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone.
Yo, bro. He don't even really gotta say too much more, bro. He ain't even really gotta say too much more. I'm gonna let because it's just really short video.
Approaching a country that, forget hating black people and not hating black people, they just don't care. You can be talking about affirmative action, they can be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery. I don't care about segregation. I don't care about you. I don't care how many of you all go to jail. I don't care at all, because I'm broke.
Yo, shout out to Angry Man, bro. Hey, yo, for posting that. And yo, listen, bro. This is 100% correct, bro. 100%. And it's so crazy. he literally broke that down so perfectly. He's right though. People just don't care, bro. You think, any situation that happens between a white person and a black person, or a black person, anyone else, bro. Let's just say that it's going to literally be brought up about some type of racial shit, when literally the other person is like, yo, I don't give two shits about none of that. I don't care about none of that. Like, I don't. You know what I mean? Because like he said, man, a lot of people be in the same situation as you, so you're trying to make them feel like, oh, you think you're better than me. Well, like, bitch, no, I don't. Bitch, I'm just as broke as you. I got just as many problems as you do. And we sitting here at this motherfucking grocery store arguing about a bunch of nothing because it be dumb shit, bro. Whenever you see this shit, it be dumb shit. Oh, my fuck, why the fuck my fries ain't hot? I bet you all the white people in here fries hot. Fuck wrong with you? Like, you just be like, yo, what? Like, they, and just make people feel uncomfortable, bro. And that's and he broke that down so perfectly. He like any sympathy that anybody, white people, any other race had for black people at one point, man, that shit gone. They didn't motherfuckers didn't ran that dry. Motherfuckers don't care about that shit no more. Niggas like, what, bro? You still bringing up slavery, man? Yo, come on, bro. I ain't never owned a slave in my life. My daddy ain't never owned no slave. My daddy ain't owned no slave. Why the fuck is we bringing up slavery, bro? Because this is what they want you to think. It's a mental thing. First thing they teach you, as in school. This group of people were masters, and this group of people were slaves. And it's just what it is. So it makes people have this complex about themselves, where you if you're black, you're insecure about it. If you're white, you either just don't give a fuck, or you do feel inferior to other races. You know what I mean? Superior to other races. So, but it's just 2025, bro. That percentage of people who actually feel that way, it's a small percentage, bro. Like I said before in a previous video, I'd be lying to you if I said that, yeah, this live, bro. Vigilant. What does that say? Oh, violent Thor. Yeah, this live. This live. But anyway, the man, black people just know how to make people feel uncomfortable, man, and it's whack. And so we're gonna get into this next joint. These are all little quick joints because they're just wanting to be quick and to the point about how people feel about things. And this right here is a perspective coming from of a more educated black man who gives his opinion on this whole black fatigue thing.
This video might make you uncomfortable, but it needs to be made. There's a growing sentiment, most recently, of individuals who are proclaiming they do have black fatigue. And you don't have to be a non-black person to have black fatigue. What does that phrase actually mean? Essentially, black fatigue is a growing weariness of the actions of the quote-unquote black community. But it goes deeper than that, because we are in 2025 now, and we are being judged based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. But the interesting part is, the lie that's been sold to the black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character. That's why in the black community, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, you are acting white, when they're talking to someone like myself who doesn't act the way most people would expect a conventional black person to act. In their minds, there is a correct way to act black. And the people in your ethnic group who fulfill those very negative stereotypes, those are the ones who are going to essentially drag down the collective whole. And that's why there's individuals who are black who do and can have black fatigue, because they see how damaging it is to see the worst of us attract all this negative attention that then unfortunately gets ascribed to the entire race all too often. But what's unfortunate is, here in 2025, now we have to contend with the fact that there's people who are so sick and tired of seeing those negative aspects, those negative individuals in the black community attracting all this attention. That's what is spurring this black fatigue. I think it's something that needs to be talked about. And until we turn inward and address the issues in our own communities, I fear that this is only going to continue and get worse. And that's exactly what the powers that be want. They want to have us against each other instead of us against those who are really pulling the strings in the back.
Yo, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact, man. You can't deny it. You know, you can't deny it whatsoever. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, bro, because people. If we, like he said, man, they really want people divided, and it's not just nowadays not just about black and white. It's trans, it's LGBTQ, it's this movement against this movement. We part of this organization. Like, bro, listen, bro. If everybody just understood that we all struggling, we all going through shit, we all deal with shit, but most importantly, understand that we all Americans, and we need to motherfucking be on the same page. I think we one of the most divided countries, bro. I feel like if you go to, and then, mind you, I never been out the country, so I don't want to act like I know, but just seeing videos and seeing things on other countries, you just see that their culture is more together. A lot of people are really kind of doing the same thing, but I'm not saying that there's no division in other countries. I'm just saying as a whole, you know what I mean? Like, we one of the most divided countries off rip. And understandably, when you have slavery and you have Jim Crow and you have these different things, segregation that happen, you get it. But why don't we start teaching our kids? Why don't we start teaching our kids, that yes, these things happen, but don't like I don't tell my son, you know, I tell him I do give him information to make him understand that yes, you might come into these scenarios, but don't treat every single one as if that's going to be fact. That's going to be law. Every time you get pulled over, it's going to be because you're black. No. No, I don't teach my son that. I'm not going to teach my little ones that neither. I'm going to teach them that, listen, abide by the laws, do things the right way, be a good person, and anything that happens after that, then you understand it's not you. You know what I mean? If you're not speeding, if you're not stealing and robbing and doing things, like if you're just being a good person, if you're doing the things you're supposed to do, then it's going to be easy for you to see things when it occurs. You know what I mean? And you're going to be able to, react to it appropriately, because that's just the best way to be, man. Because if not, you're gonna get yourself into more trouble. I feel like I was way more emotional. Grew up with my mom. My dad was in our lives, and he taught us valuable things. But it's a big difference from being raised by your mother and being raised by your dad. To be honest, we stayed with our mom because we had way more freedoms. We knew if we stayed with our dad, it was going to be, it was going to be motherfucker getting your ass up on time, making sure the chores was done. It was going to be structured. It was going to be strict, and that was the reason why we didn't want to go with our dad. As a man, I wish I would have went with my dad because I would have had more structure. It's not that my mother, and say that my mother didn't do what she could. It's hard to raise 3 boys at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that's a handful. I got 2 and 1 on the way, but I got 2 little ones and an older one. And my older one, he be, he a great kid. He just, I see it in him. When I said this in a previous episode, I said that, you people think because they got melanin in their skin that they have to act a certain way. You feel me? They think that they have to, like my son does music, so we feel like his music got to be in this type of genre and framework in order to be cool. Like, nah, it doesn't, bro. You're cool if you're cool, bro. You're cool if you're cool. Just is what it is. You make yourself cool. All the other shit is just opinionated. Nobody cares anyway, because it really doesn't have no real value in it. Like, who cares what other people really truly think? You know what I'm saying? And you'll gain more from just being you and being yourself. And that's what I try to explain to my son. And he's becoming more like that as he sees that them things just don't benefit you, bro. You going out of your way, you know, and then because you start putting yourself in this box. You know what I mean? And he's in school getting in trouble because he wants to be the class clown. He wants to be funny. He wants to be down. But yet, you're not understanding that you're putting this persona on yourself that truly ain't even you. Because I'm like, dude, you don't even act like this at home. You know, I don't even be off. I don't teach you none of this. So you doing it, you know that, come on, and you're a reflection of me. You're my son. When you go out here in the world and you do things, it's a reflection of me. It's a reflection of your mother and things that we teach you. And I know damn well I don't teach you to be, you know, ghetto, ratchet, you know, none of that. Because I don't like it. I came from it. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back to that. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back to, you know, the mice in the motherfucking in the ceiling and the roaches and all that. I came from that. I don't want to go back to that, you know? You know, and it's just so crazy, bro, that in 2025 we are still, you know, talking about these certain issues, bro. It's crazy. But before we get into, actually, I was going to go to the whole Trump his reaction to this whole Epstein thing. But I want to go into this Jasmine Crockett thing. This, let me see something real quick. Let's see. Okay, so this video is older, but I wanted to play it because this kind of coincides with this whole black fatigue thing, because you got Jasmine Crockett, who is a loser in my eyes. Like, she's a loser, bro, because she's the example of the person who thinks because they got melanin in their skin that you have to be a certain way in order to get the votes and this and that. But with her, it's purposefully. It's, you know what I mean? It's purposefully done. She knows that she wasn't raised how she acts now, and she didn't act like this before. She came from a good school, good parents, you know, good values, and that's what's up. That's what's up, bro. It doesn't mean you're corny or you're at a disadvantage as a black person if you didn't come up in the ghetto, if you didn't come up in the hood, bro. No, that means that your parents did the right things and made the right decisions, and they stayed together and kept a nuclear family and had an environment for you where it was just better, you know? And what's wrong with that? Like, I hate people who like, for instance, where everybody was hating on Bronny, you know, oh man, Bron, if he wasn't LeBron James' son, he wouldn't have never gotten the league. Even if that's true, so the fuck what, bro? So the fuck what? As a man, you work your ass off to get to a certain place in life. Why shouldn't I be able to utilize the position that I'm in to better my kids? Like, why? Like, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? The only people that's going against that is motherfuckers that got broke pockets and broke mentality, bro. You know what I mean? And that's corny, you know? And then what's funny is, as soon as Bronny start getting into his bag and develop and start going off and averaging, you know, 25 points a game, whatever, 10 rebounds, whatever it is, then everybody gonna be on the bandwagon. Oh, yo, I knew he was nice, bro. Yo, I knew it, like, yo, everybody gonna be meat riding. The same thing they did to Jalen Hurts. Everybody meat riding Jalen Hurts. Oh, he doesn't have it. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not this. He's not that. Look. He already done been to, as a starter, 5 years, I believe, been to 2 Super Bowls, been to the playoffs, I believe, every single season. Every single season. And he already got one. Come on, bro. Stop. But let's get into this video real quick. Just show you the fake shit that the Democrats be propping up.
Jasmine Crockett the ghetto congresswoman out of Texas, someone has unearthed footage of Jasmine Crockett's behavior and talking style before she decided to become a ghetto queen, the ghetto queen of Congress. Let's watch the before and after video.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need.
Listen, he up there, he's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know.
But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If any,
bro, just look at they showing you the contrast, man. You know, let me stop. Let me just let it play out.
anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know.
We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts.
You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that.
We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today.
We've seen it a million times. You know, I saw someone, I think it was Jeff Charles or someone tweeted out, hey, that's code switching and blah. And people act like this is some skill we've developed, that's some positive we code switch. And all it is, code, it's just being fake. And so, yes, we have mastered the art of being fake in front of certain people for our benefit or for performative reasons. But they took a little suburban black girl next door, cute face, you know, went to a little private, I think Catholic, predominantly white high school in St. Louis, and said, hey, we're gonna dress you up as a Yas queen from the ghetto when you get to Congress. We want you to come up out of character and we want you to play this different role. And so she's cursing and being loud, and she's leaning into the fake eyelashes and the fingernails and all of that. It's a clown show. We've seen it a million times. I'm not surprised by this video at all. Shamika, your thoughts?
Jason, I'm going to be a little bit more bold today and say that Black people are actually signing up to be the Democrat Party's monkey mascots, because this is exactly what they are. You know, not only was Jasmine Felicia Crockett not this ghetto person when she was a state representative, she was born to a pastor and his wife. So what she's portraying is not even the life that she actually lived. And we've known for a long time that it was a character. I even saw a video from, I think it was maybe 2020, when she actually was going for a state representative. She was very calm, just as we saw in this video, a little bit chubbier, eyelashes weren't as long and dramatic. And now that's all we see. She's lost a little weight. Now every time she opens her mouth, she's cursing, or she has to, hit her hands together constantly, showing us those long fingernails, batting her eye. It's a gimmick. It's an act. And this is how I know this whole code switching thing is foolishness. I don't know how to code switch, Jason. And for those of us that actually grew up a little less favorable, we try as hard as we can to actually represent ourselves or represent where we come from in the most favorable way. We're not trying to always give you ghetto. We're not trying to go over the top to make you think, oh, we're down or we, are gangsta bees. We don't do that. We just actually present ourselves the way that we are. Hope that you like it. Hope that you hear what we have to say. Hope that is useful to you. And we go on about our business. There's no actual act that we have to portray by doing all of these extra things. If you look at someone like myself or Angela Stanton King, we try to button up when we go in places, like the White House or whatever. But it's still us. We don't have to code switch or, oh, I'm on the Breakfast Club, so now I'm going to be a little bit more ghetto. There's none of that. So I always knew Jasmine was what I would call someone who went to county schools. They act totally different from those of us that went to city schools. But you could tell it was an act because she just tries way too hard.
So just wanted to show you that this is what they do, bro. They're going to prop up. They propped her up. And mind you, she losing in every because people ain't going for it, bro. She just lost. She just tried to, I think, be the head of some committee. I forget exactly what it was. But she literally was dead last because people aren't going for it, bro. They know it's an act, it's fake. And if y'all want to check out the rest of that video, go to Jason Whitlock. It's an older video, but just wanted to show you how much of a fraud a lot of these black people who represent so-called the black community. And it's just not real, bro. And it's embarrassing, to be honest, because it's a lot of them that are in Congress, that are in the Senate, who try to put on these acts when people just want to be represented right. You know what I mean? And they want to know that when we vote for you, it's because you got great intentions and you want to really do good things in the black communities. But the fact of the matter is, it ain't. These people get into these positions, they start realizing that it's, a game being played, and they go right with it, man. And they don't really truly care. They just want these seats because they want the perks and they want the money that comes with being in these seats, and the power that comes within being in these positions. Jasmine Crockett is a woman who came up in a good family. Her dad was a pastor, so you just know that off rip. You seen it. You seen how educated she sounded in the beginning, and this is why I say I believe that most people get into politics with good intentions to do good for their state, for their county, for whatever it is, whatever seat that they're trying to get into. But then they get in, they see the game, and they start going with it, bro. But this shit is a bad representation for the black community. And it's a lot of black people. I seen a lot of videos where black people are not fucking with Jasmine Crockett. They're not fucking with Hakeem Jeffries. They're not fucking with Letitia James. They're not fucking with none of these people who so-called represent the black community. The Al Sharptons, the Roland Martins. They may have a following or whatever, but people are waking up. And that's the reason why Donald Trump won the election. But let's move on to this whole Pam Bondi, Epstein situation, and this was during the cabinet meeting the other day, and Donald Trump gave his reaction to this question about Epstein.
That's the Attorney General question too. Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the death?
Yeah, sure. If I
Could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Yeah, so, she basically summed it up. Now, I went back because a lot of people were saying, "Oh man, they trying to switch up. They trying to switch up now." And but the one thing that I do agree with people with is that they should have just never even brung up the fact that they were going to drop these files and these MLK files and the JFK files. They should have actually just kept it to themselves. And if the opportunity came to release certain information, they should have did it that way instead of saying, we're going to do this. And then when it doesn't happen, now people have a reason to go after the administration and have these bogus ass conversations, which I say they're bogus because this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is old as hell. This dude died years ago and people are still stuck on it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's way more important shit that needs to be happening, that's going on now. This dude is dead. Now, if there were important people that are in the government and different things that were, doing things that should be revealed, then I think they should. But at the end of the day, what their reporting is that it was a bunch of child porn and things that they're not going to release to the public for, I guess, safety issues or whatever. Now, at the end of the day, could this just be a thing to put it to bed and just be like, just move on from it? Maybe. Because just like Trump just said, he's like, yo, there's way more important things that's going on. There's way more success going on. There's that's going on that we could be talking about. There's the situation that happened in Texas and just way bigger issues that are going on with the Russia-Ukraine situation. And we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, a dude that may or may not have committed suicide years ago. And if you, let's just say you did get first of all, certain footage you just won't see, nobody will see it anyway because you cannot play it anyway. You know what I mean? And even if you did get the files and you got the information, what is it going to do? What, people are going to have some more content to release and talk about? Yeah, like, I don't understand. I really don't. But let's get into this last video with my guy, Officer Tatum. Talking about the flooding in Texas and how people are blaming the Trump administration, and I react when I react with y'all. So let's see what's going on.
Y'all scary as and I don't give a. Them little girls, them people died because of racism, not politics.
What?
Boom, I said it. I don't give a fuck.
You believe this?
And I said no. Nope. Because more YT people will have to DIE.
Hold on. Is she saying that people died in this flood because of racism?
In order for the what? CARE.
Why is it all black people? There ain't no white people here talking stupid. It's got to be. Please put a white person in there. Let's play this. Please don't be another N saying something crazy about this flood. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. Over the weekend, I thought I would be able to take a break. I thought I'd be able to chill with my family. I just thought, but I was wrong. However, because I care about the people that work for me, I didn't make anybody come in to work, but I really wanted to talk about what went on in Texas. Very sad. If you follow me on social media, you know I wrote an opinion piece on it on my Substack. My Substack is absolutely free. I don't charge people to get in the Substack. Get in there if you want to see my deeper thoughts on certain subjects that I don't necessarily always cover on my YouTube channel. We'll put the link somewhere if you're interested. But I wanted to touch on a few things. I didn't originally talk about this incident not because I didn't think it was important. It's because it was too emotional. Like, I just didn't want to face the reality that there were children who had gotten swept away in such a brutal and terrible fashion. I mean, as a father, many of you guys that got kids, imagine sending your kids out to a summer camp, there's a flood that occurred, and they get washed away, never to be seen again. I mean, many of these kids are still missing. So what I want to do now is just give a quick update, tell you I want to give an update. Then I want to tell you what my theories are when it comes to how I think this thing happened. Not necessarily meaning that it's a direct correlation, but it's something that made me curious over the weekend. And then also I want to show the radical leftist nut jobs who are hell-bent on blaming everything in America's woes on Donald Trump, and how they're wrong. And I want to disprove every naysayer, because you guys are going to see this 100,000 times between now and by the time they find these kids, is that people are saying it's Trump's fault. And they're saying it's Trump's fault because he made budget cuts to some of the federal agencies that do meteorology or whatever the case may be, and that they were understaffed. It's complete lie. And I'm going to disprove that coming up. Now, like we always do, let's see how the media is covering this incident. Now, you could probably predict, but I'm going to show you here and you will have proof. All you got to do is look at the leftist podcast, The Morning Joe, discusses how staffing cuts to the National Weather Service affected the flood. They literally will blame Trump for anything. But let's look at the articles. Looking from the left, what are they doing? Grief and anger. Texas officials blame federal government while Trump deflects. Then they go down here, Trump dodges questions to Texas flood. And then you see the way the Republicans are covering it. They're just explaining what the controversy is without throwing shade or blame, which you have to be a diabolical person to somehow think that it's Trump's fault that a 1 in a 500-year flood happened while he happened to be the president. Anyway, but if you want to be informed, make sure you read both sides so you know this is what your auntie and them who's still wearing a mask and a Tesla is looking at, and this is what we are looking at. So, but make sure you're informed on both sides. Speaking of being informed on both sides, and this is why I love Ground.News, is that you have to be mindful of your blind spots, okay? There's 18 blind spots that Democrats need to look out for, 9 blind spots that Republicans need to look out for, and they're just posted here. If you see blue, the Democrats need to look out for it. You see red, the Republicans need to look out for it, all right? So all you got to do is go through and see UN Human Rights Council's crucial vote for LGBTQ rights. Republicans don't talk about it all. Here's another one. Leaked memo shows advisors told Biden that he would be helped by early debate with Trump. No leftists are talking about it, just the Republicans. So make sure when you look at news, you're informed with Ground.News. So make sure you guys subscribe through my link at ground.news/Tatum or download the mobile app and use offer code Tatum. And therefore, it really hit this area of the Camp Mystic Girls Summer Camp. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to put some clips up on the channel for you guys to take a look at, but we'll get to this particular girls' camp. But this is some of the footage that we were able to see, and this occurred over the weekend, but I'm reporting on it right now because it's Monday. Roll the clip. This is literally a house with people in it floating down the creek.
What the fuck?
The stream, whatever you want to call it. Let's go to the next clip.
And so apparently there's...
Hold on. This is a gentleman that's kind of talking about it, giving a summary as of July the 4th. But I think his commentary is good, and this is just another glimpse of what occurred on that day. Roll the clip.
There's been a ton of reports coming out of Texas right now because of the Guadalupe River that decided to surge dramatically after historic levels of rainfall in south central Texas on July 4th, 2025, with some areas receiving 5 to 11 inches overnight. As a result of this, the Guadalupe River rose over 20 feet in just an hour in Kerrsville and 26.7 feet in 45 minutes in Comfort, Texas. The National Weather Service described this as a deadly flood wave, issuing multiple flash flood emergencies. The river...
Okay. Let's go to clip 4. Roll it.
I have some heartbreaking news that I'm going to share. I've spoken to this man standing on this foundation over here. He is actually the brother of the person who owned this home. What he's informed me of is that his brother's house is actually missing. His 2 children are missing. He has no idea where his brother is, and he doesn't have any idea where his brother's wife is. So his brother's home, including his brother, his brother's wife, and his 2 children are now missing on the situation. He's in shock. That's what he was able to share with me. But I do have confirmation that
Bro, he said that the house is missing. It's not even there. That's crazy, man.
Was here, now it's not here, and this man is sort of left to see how what actually progresses of the situation with a missing family member. And
all right, so this just gives you a glimpse of a little bit of the tragedy. Now, I don't want to continue to post a ton of clips. I don't want to belabor the point, but you see how tragic this was. The whole house is gone with everybody in it. That's got to be the craziest feeling whatsoever. And as a parent, I think it's heart-wrenching. Now, let's get to some things that I thought about in my op-ed I wrote. And I want to dispel a myth first, and then I want to talk a little bit about cloud seeding real quick. Do I think that cloud seeding caused this? No. I don't know if it did. But I think people should understand that this is going on. This is happening. It's real. You know, when the chemtrails and stuff that you see in the sky and people are like, oh, that's just a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. States are actually doing this. Let's talk about this blue rain thing for a minute. There was a person, an article that came out, and this is a real thing that actually happened. There was people that were reporting seeing blue rain. So on their canopies and different covers on their hot tubs, there was pooled up water from a rainstorm that occurred just days before this major flood, and it was blue. And so I'm gonna read it. It says, just days before the flood, reports began circulating on social media, a few local news outlets claiming that blue rain had fallen on parts of Texas in viral TikTok video. And here's one of the videos. I'll play it. Roll it.
Is it just me, or these Texas floods do not sit right with me? Now, Texas officials say they were caught up.
A little bit for the blue rain. I just want to show the blue rain part. All right, play it.
In this beautiful state park in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And
now, wouldn't it be wild?
All right, pause it. So he gives a little synopsis on this whole thing that I'm going to talk about right now, so I don't want to waste your time listening to him. And I wrote in part in this op-ed, it says, the meteorologist pointed out that blue rain is not indicative of cloud seeding or chemical manipulation. Instead, it's most likely the natural source of airborne particles like pollution, dust, or smoke from wildfires being washed out in the atmosphere. No credible water samples or lab tests have been traced linking the phenomenon to weather modification activity. So that's the official statement. but they're not denying that the water coming out of the sky was blue. Ain't that crazy? But there is no unequivocal evidence that this is caused by cloud seeding, but it's still suspicious. This was just a few days before. And then let's talk about cloud seeding real quick. The question is, could cloud seeding have had something to do with this? I think people need to look into it, because I think they don't want you to look at it at all. They want to act like it didn't happen, and it's conspiracy theory. But I think we should at least evaluate, okay? Cloud seeding, injecting agents like silver iodide into clouds to encourage precipitation, has been used in Texas for water management and agriculture since 1940. Did you know that? Did you know that they've been cloud seeding since 1940? I used to be honest, I thought it was a myth. I thought it was all a lie. I thought it was condensation in the air. There was no cloud seeding going on since 1940.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I said, I believe in my last video, that's what's crazy about some of this shit that be going on now. You know, in certain places where you don't get a lot of rain, I can understand why they created systems to where they can make it rain to where, you know, it's more habitable. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do believe that they do have the technology to be able to manipulate the weather. And I've seen it. I've seen a video where they had this it looked like almost like a NASA thing where they let off like a rocket or something, and it makes this big cloud, huge cloud, and literally minutes later rain comes. So they know how to fuck with the weather, whether it's to the degree where they can cause something as catastrophic as what happened in Texas. I don't know, man, but there is people out here that do gain a lot from these natural disasters. And that's what's sad, is that it's sad that, bro, that you even have to even think that they would sacrifice this many people in order to have some financial gain, whether it's through property, real estate, and all of these different things. Because, you know, businesses like BlackRock are going to swoop in and buy, like kind of what happened in Hawaii, and that whole situation. They were saying there was conspiracies about that being manipulated and happening, so that way they could come in and buy up all of this property and land. So it's crazy, man. But I kind of want to get to the part with the reaction. What's this?
Flash floods in Texas, the Guadalupe River, 51 missing, 51 dead, more missing.
Yo, she just looks so like mentally ill, bro. yo.
Children.
Crazy.
At a camp. And you know, when the president guts all of the early warning systems and the weathering forecast abilities of the government.
Just look how quick they willing to just go out here and just lie, bro.
These are the results that we're going to start to see on a daily basis, because he's put this country in so much danger by his horrible decisions and this ridiculously immoral bill that he just signed into law. As Republicans cheered, people will die as a result, and they've started already.
That's crazy, bro.
Shame on him.
That's crazy.
Shame on every GOP sycophant who's listening and following the disastrous decisions of this mentally incapacitated POTUS.
I don't even want to listen to her.
Now, this same B, meaning beautiful woman. Let me quit lying. It don't mean beautiful woman. You know what it means. This raggedy B never made a video one time during Biden's administration when he was completely incompetent. And he was really deranged, and I don't think he's with us anymore. She made no videos. And this dumb B, it means butthead, or whatever you want it to mean. Just be safe when you're thinking about it. This dummy is acting as if Donald Trump signing the big beautiful bill has somehow caused the rain to fall down and for the Guadalupe River to overflow, increase by, being filled with water in their lungs and rotting on the side of the road. Okay. Road is next mindless person.
Y'all scary as and I don't give a Them little girls, them people died because of racism, not politics. Boom, I said it. I don't give a fuck.
Can you believe?
Yo, oh my God, bro. Listen, man, I'm a little pressed for time, man, but y'all get the point, bro. Yo, bro. Bro, she said that them girls that were in that camp died because of racism. You can't make this shit up, bro. You truly cannot make it up, bro. This is what it's pros and cons to everything. And the pros to having social media and having YouTube and being able to do what I'm doing and have a channel and be able to speak your mind. It's also cons to it, bro. Because you got people like her and Rosie O'Donnell who use their platform to just put out a bunch of garbage and a bunch of lies and a bunch of bullshit. And believe it or not, even somebody like that girl might have a little following, and people will truly believe that. And come on, bro. You can't make this shit up, bro. But if y'all want to check out more of that video, go to Officer Tatum's channel. Definitely a dope content creator, man. He definitely be speaking a lot of facts. There's some things I disagree with him about when it comes to. I'm not gonna get into that, but whatever. But as far as a whole, I fuck with his content, and he definitely be speaking facts, man. And so yeah, man. I hope y'all fuck with the content today, man. And got something out of it, and I hope that it was beneficial to you. And if y'all fuck with my content, man, please make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below, and definitely going to be dropping more content every day if possible. But I be busy, but I love doing this, and I appreciate everybody that does subscribe to the channel. So yeah, man, it's your boy SL550. This the NGLA podcast, man. Make sure y'all hit that notification button too, so y'all can get notified every time I drop a video. I'm out.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.